Some of you guys are like wearing tank tops. Tank tops and flip-flops. What is it, Chris?
It's definitely tank tops and flip-flops.
I know.
The mornings are going to be in the lower 60s, so it depends.
There you go, sweatshirt.
I also like to refer to this as lost jacket season for all the kids because they're wearing like a sweatshirt or a light jacket in the morning, and then it's like 80s to 90 during the afternoon, and then there's like, I don't need that. So this is the time that, or it's also your back seat's cluttered with a variety of thicknesses of overwears.
That's why fall frustrates me. I know I've said it before, and I always get like,
you get slack?
I get roasted every year for it in the newsroom. They're like, how could you get frustrated with fall? It's because
we have
I
to
don't
bring
like
too many
carrying
clothes
things around.
Yep.
I don't want to carry a jacket around.
I do have the layers. I don't
want to do that.
It's not consistent.
No.
I agree. And also, it makes my job more valuable because if you think about it, during the summertime, you don't care about what the lows are because they're pretty much the same. And then for the highs, you can pretty much expect them to be the same unless there's some sort of witchcraft in the weather world. But no, like truly, it's so many ups and downs. Like, for example, a couple of weeks ago, we were in the 70s, and then now we're back to 90 degrees on Friday. So I understand. I get the frustration. And also, I think it's really funny that when people up north especially say, I love fall, I was like, you like 2 weeks because that's pretty much what you get.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
For us, at least, we have well through October before it really starts to get chilly. But let's look at many fine examples about what today is going to be all about. It has not really been a morning where temperatures have moved too much over the last few hours. The reason why, the cloud cover. Now, the cloud cover is starting to break as we're starting to see more signs of blue. We officially just warmed up, though. We were around 62 to 63 for about 4 to 5 hours across Charlotte. Now it's up to 67. Still a partly sunny day, but we're going to see a lot more blue skies as we work away into the afternoon. So unlike yesterday we started off cloudy, then it was sunny, and then more clouds took over. Today was already the cloudier start, and then we have a mix of cloud and sunshine. Then you're going to have a brighter sky as we are concluding the day. Our current temperature is 67, as I just mentioned, around Charlotte, 65 in Monroe, and then 63 over in Hickory, and then 58 degrees, almost back to the 60s for around the Boone area. And it's the second to last Ghost Peppers regular season game. Reason why I'm mentioning this is it's not necessarily the end of the season for them because the way that the Atlantic Professional Baseball League deals with this is it's like the first half and the second half best records for the division will play each other in the playoffs. Well, the Ghost Peppers had an awesome back end of the forecast, so they officially are going to be in the playoffs. So this is not the end.
Good for the Ghost Peppers.
Yeah, good for the Ghost Peppers. They deserve this. Actually, even dating back to when they were the Honey Hunters, they've made the playoffs every single year.
Yeah.
So it's a really good organization. And if you haven't, you still haven't been, have you?
I have been.
You have
been? I've been to one game when they were still the Honey Hunters.
Yep.
My cousin plays pro ball, so he
Cool.
was actually playing there as the Somerset Patriots, and is the cutest little ballpark.
It's so quaint.
It's adorable.
Yeah, and things are a little bit cheaper there.
Yep.
So we definitely highly recommend it if you have nothing to do because this one's at 12:30, and oftentimes when you've been going to a Ghost Peppers game or even thought about it, it's been hot, humid, and miserable. Not the case, Carlene, so that's good news. And then tomorrow night's game should be actually pretty pleasant. It looks like we're going to be rain-free as well. High of 85 degrees for today, and then boom, up to 90 degrees on Friday, upper 80s on Saturday, and then overall it's going to be a mostly sunny sky for your Friday and for your Saturday as well. Here's a look at your satellite and radar. Not much is actually happening for the time being. We did have some rain that was barely on the Rowan County line. There was a chance for some sprinkles. I say no more. The sprinkles are gone. They're moving off towards the northeast. That's all associated with a coastal low that's pulling out, and that's going to allow for some brighter skies, more sunshine for the afternoon. And then once you get to about tomorrow, there are going to be a few cloudy periods. You're seeing signs of rain down to the south. So I will say if you live in Chester and Lancaster County, you will have a slight chance for a brief shower. Charlotte, you are staying dry. Same thing for your Friday, but most likely most of the area is staying dry over the next several days. Slight chance or a spotty chance on Saturday, and then an isolated potential on your Tuesday. Check out our dew points. Whenever they're around 60, it's sticky. Whenever it's at 65, boy, you feeling it. And we're going to have that return on Tuesday. The odd thing is, it's officially starting fall on Monday. So the first full day of fall is actually Tuesday. That doesn't feel fall-like whatsoever. So again, fall not really getting its act together, even though it is still technically summer. Our similar lows are going to be anywhere from about 63 to 65 over the next 7 days. They don't move much. So just expect the lower to the mid 60s. You know how to prepare for that. But our highs are the ones that really fluctuate. So I already showed you up to around that 90-degree point, 89 on Saturday, before things start to really drop off. So for our Jerry Hunt's Supercenter 7-day forecast, you see that top at 90 degrees on Friday, but then for the start of fall, officially starts at 2:09 on the dot p.m. on your Monday. That we call it the autumnal equinox is the technical name. And then after that, we're actually going to see a nice little revamp as far as our temperatures go. But this is the kind of time of year that you can kind of expect this, that the peaks that you see get a little less and less the further that we go into September and October. Now, I'm not saying that you will not see the 90s again. The latest we ever seen them is October 13th, but it's becoming less and less likely. Per climatology, it's actually becoming more a rarity. It's actually only been 10 times past the 26, which is the back end of this, that we've ever hit 90 degrees in Charlotte history after that date. Our low temperatures, 63 to 65, as I mentioned, but eventually we are going to see a drop off back to that 60-degree point. And our precipitation chance is very low. Just we see the return of those isolated storm chances the middle of next week. I also want to talk about Tropical Depression number 7. It's fun that it rhymes, and it's also good news that this is mainly going to be pushing out to sea. 5 a.m. was the most recent advisory, and we will have another update at 11 o'clock. This will have a better name, likely Tropical Storm Gabrielle, here in the next 12 hours or so. I think the earliest will be 11 o'clock, but then you might see it by either the 2 or the 5 o'clock update. Once winds get up to about 39 miles per hour, it'll say 40 miles per hour here on this map, then it'll officially become a tropical storm. And likely it's going to be Tropical Storm Gabrielle over the next 3 to 4 days. Then by the end of the weekend, then I think we're going to be upgrading this thing to a Category 1 hurricane. Could even happen a little bit earlier than that. And then I would not be surprised if this becomes a major hurricane before it gets to Bermuda. And right now things are trending that it's going to steer away from Bermuda, but there's still a lot that can change here. So I want to show you the model track. By the way, we still have another system that's developing behind this, but that Bermuda high is going to glide this back out to sea. So this is not a threat to the United States. Good news there. Bermuda does have a chance that it could either get directly impacted, an indirect impact, or nothing at all. That's kind of where it's at. It doesn't really look like it's going to move west of Bermuda. It's either going to be a direct hit, it gets the western side of the storm, or it's just some strong surf that comes with it. It's something that we'll watch for Bermuda itself, but again, for the United States, not a big issue. When we're talking about tropical forecasting, it's all about steering currents. So you have to think that the way that the old Maritimes will guide themselves is through the different trade winds. Well, the biggest guidance is usually what's called the Bermuda high. Physically, it's a clockwise rotation around this high-pressure system. That's what you see for that big blob in the middle of the Atlantic. That's what's going to take Gabrielle and glide it out to sea. Now, what you're going to see is that pattern is actually going to break down by day 6 to 10 of the forecast. And the reason why that's significant is that that is going to be more favorable that if any sort of low pressure system develops in the Caribbean near the United States, that it will have a better chance of actually impacting the U.S. It's not going to be steered out by the current of this high pressure system. So I just want everyone to know, especially by the end of September and early October, that's going to be the prime time that if we're going to get a storm that's going to impact the U.S., I think it's going to be during that time frame. I'm not seeing any representation by the long range models that could come to fruition. Just want everyone to know. So that wraps up your forecast with the bow. Overall, it's hot to fall, summer, fall, all over the place. Hurricane season, not hurricane season. As Carlene had said, fall, it can't make up its mind, which is its biggest downfall.
It's frustrating.
It's
frustrating.
I'm a summer
frustrating
girl.
fall. I love summer too, but I do like the fall.
I love like those 70s, like 80-degree point when it was super comfortable.
Dry 70s.
Bring it back.
Bring
That's what I want.
it.
We don't have that this week, but eventually bring it back.
Okay. All right. We'll get our last ounce of summer here this
Exactly. Pool days aren't over. We got some great ones on the way.
I can still split splash.
week. All right.